his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who was a part of the previous Trump administration, was Jewish, and that whether he actually joins the cabinet or not, he will have some power. But obviously, they now cannot hope to achieve what they always knew that they cannot achieve, which is to persuade Trump to support a ceasefire in Gaza, to persuade Trump to support the two-nation theory, the creation of a Palestinian state. No, that will not happen, and that was never promised. So I understand why the Muslims are frustrated. Yes, they are frustrated because Trump is, or the people in the future Trump administration are saying they would do what they always said they would do, which is to further strengthen Israel and its defenses and to support the Israeli cause in the Middle Eastern conflict. And they're not doing what they never promised to do, which is they're not supporting the creation of an Israeli state, the creation of a Palestinian state. They're not doing anything to stop Israel from continuing its attacks. They are not doing anything to provide more humanitarian and financial assistance to the Palestinians. But to be fair to the Trump administration, as I said, they never promised to do so. We all know, and Muslims living in America as well as the Palestinians, I always knew that the Republicans, particularly those in the Trump camp, do not believe in the two-nation theory, which is that there should be two states in that region, the state of Israel and the state of Palestine. Trump is on record to have said that he does not believe in that he believes that there should only be one state, the state of Israel. Okay, Trump never promised, never said that it would provide assistance to the Palestinians, and therefore he did not. So I do not understand why Muslims are upset, why Muslims believe that Trump is betraying them, because Trump never made those promises. Okay, number one. The second thing is, why did the Muslims vote for Trump or the third-party candidates? They did not vote for Trump or the third-party candidates because they believed in Trump's ideology, or they believed that Trump would do what they are expecting from him. They voted for Trump or a third-party candidate like Jill Stein because they wanted to send a message to the Democrats. Why? Because they thought the Democrats did not do enough to stop the fighting in Gaza. They did not bring enough pressure on Israel to stop its raids. They did not do enough to help create a second Palestinian state in that region. And so they wanted the Democrats to realize that they had made a mistake, that Muslims are a tiny minority, about 1.2% of the total population, but in swing states like Michigan, like Wisconsin, they have enough votes to actually have an impact on the final results. And it proved that they were right. In Michigan, for instance, Kamala Harris could have won if the Muslims had voted for her rather than voting for Trump or a third-party candidate. They could have even won in Wisconsin. They could have also impacted the elections in Pennsylvania, and that could have actually translated into a victory for Kamala Harris, but it did not, because the Muslims did not vote for them. Muslims succeeded in achieving what they wanted to achieve, which was to send a message to the Democrats that they are important. But obviously, they now cannot hope to achieve what they always knew that they cannot achieve, which is to persuade Trump to support a ceasefire in Gaza, to persuade Trump to support the two-nation theory, the creation of a Palestinian state. No, that will not happen, and that was never promised. Trump never made that promise. So I am actually surprised at their disappointment. Why are they disappointed? It was very obvious what Trump would do. Look, a very large number of Trump supporters belong to a religious group within the United States that believe that Jesus would only come back to this world once a larger Palestinian state is created and existed 3,000 years ago, which not only included present Israel, but entire Palestine, some parts of Syria, and some parts of Lebanon. And once that state is created, then of course Jesus will come, and then Jesus will destroy the Israeli state, and then Christianity will prevail all over. Now, once an Israeli ambassador in Washington was asked that you were very happy with this new evangelist supporting your cause, but they believe in the ultimate destruction of Israel. So he said that, okay, when Jesus comes and we face that situation, we'll talk about it. Right now, we have to deal with the current situation, and the current situation is that we need their support. Israel needs their support, and that's why we welcome them. So that is why what should have been our attitude, but we did not realize that in showing our anger with the Palestinians, we are hurting our own cause, and now we have to face the consequences. We cannot blame Trump for doing something he never promised. We cannot. Trump never said that he will not bring these people that we say the so-called strong pro-Israeli people within the Republican Party. Of course, he never said that he will not bring them into power. We always knew that there were some of them were very senior in his campaign, and that they were always associated with him. They were part of his inner circle. That we also always knew that his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who was a part of the previous Trump administration, was Jewish, and that whether he actually joins the cabinet or not, he will have some power. And we always knew what is the general perception in the United States is that the majority in Israel in the United States supports the Israeli state, and they want to see a strong Israel in that region. So if we had certain expectations that are now that now it seems that those expectations will not be fulfilled, then we are to be blamed for it. We expected something that nobody ever promised. Period.